You are watching this video for a very specific reason, and I'm willing to bet that you already know the reason why. It's because, you have all these big goals, you have these dreams, you have these aspirations, yet you're probably not where you want to be yet. You're probably not rich, you're probably not successful yet. Keyword yet, right? And the reason I say yet is because a lot of people, they don't really wake up ever. Like, take a look around you, for example, like when you're out in public next time. Just look at everyone. Will this person be successful? Probably not. You can instantly tell, right? But majority of people nowadays do not have what it takes. They don't, really want it bad enough. They don't. You could be the person to, give them everything. You could tell them exactly how to be a millionaire in a step-by-step process, and they still won't do it. They still won't. Just because they don't want it bad enough. And some people just don't want handouts. Some people don't want to change. And that's totally fine, right? But that's not you. You want to make a change. You want to be successful. You want to do all these things. Yet you're in the position where you're not quite there yet. You're kind of stuck in no man's land right now. You're not who you used to be, but you're not who you want to be yet. And this is the hardest phase. Arguably it is because your old identity and your new identity are struggling. It's like a constant war between the two. And you're trying to get to this side, right? But you're still like hanging on to the past. You're still hanging on to your old identity, right? Because you're so used to being comfortable. You're so used to, being monotonous and, staying in the same place, right? I mean, realistically, who wouldn't be? It's the easier thing to do every single time, right? As humans and in our brains, we obviously, will choose the easy way out every single time. That's just kind of how we're wired, right? But some people, like you, some people are wired differently. They choose the hard path. They want the success. They want all the fame, the glory, everything. They want it all. And they don't care how hard they have to work to get there. They don't care what they have to sacrifice. They don't care about the blood, sweat, and tears that they're going to have to put in to get to where they want to be, right? And that's the identity that you should strive for every single time. Because like I said, you have these goals. I know in the back of your mind that you're so used to seeing all this content on your phone. I need to get rich one day. I need to retire my family. I need to have the supercar XYZ, whatever it may be, right? And that was honestly one of the biggest reasons as to why I was stuck, why I didn't start, why, I didn't do all these things is because I didn't understand the process, right? I didn't understand the work that it took to get there. I didn't understand the pain that I was going to have to go through. I didn't understand any of that. All I saw was the flashy cars, all the money, the lifestyle, and all that, and I wanted it. But are you willing to do what it takes to get all of it? Genuinely, are you? Are you willing to lay it on the line and sacrifice everything? Because your life is going to completely change. I promise you, it will. But you're not going to see the results that you want to instantly. I'm so tired of seeing all these people come to me asking me, what do I do? How do I start? How do I be like you? And they expect to see these insane results, like 50K a month in, a handful of months, right? Or, 10K a month in 2 months, right? That's not feasible at all. I don't care if you're an outlier, like, unless you get extremely lucky and you pretty much win the lottery, there's no way you're doing that. Everything that is hard, everything that requires an insane amount of work is not easy to get, but it's very rewarding. Because nothing easy is good. Everything that comes that is very, valuable or rewarding is very hard to get. It's like using the analogy of like, if everyone had a six-pack, like it would be easy to get, right? That's not why everyone has a six-pack, is because it's hard, like you have to work for it, you have to train, you have to be disciplined. And that concept applies to, this goal that you have, this whole goal that you have, right? It's the same exact process. It's just on a much longer scale. I mean, I want to say that it took me almost 4 months to hit my first 10K month, 5 months, right? And that was after taking consistent action every single day, regardless of how I felt, regardless. And it wasn't easy by any means. Genuinely, it wasn't. It was arguably the hardest thing I've had to do in my entire life, because as a kid, as I was growing up, I was so lazy. I had no drive for school. I had no intention to be putting effort into anything. Like even sports. I played every single sport, every sport. And I quit all of them. because I was a quitter. I was a talker and I was a quitter, and I was lazy. I played baseball, soccer, football, basketball, you name it. Within a few months, I was done. The moment I encountered some sort of hardship, I was out. I was done. I was just gonna quit. I was like, I'm sick of this, I'm done. On to the next, And that is one of the biggest mistakes that people make getting into this space of online money or trying to make money online. Is the moment they experience hardship, the moment that some shit goes wrong, they pivot, they quit, they go in a different direction. They have this shiny object syndrome where they want to chase the next big business model, the next trendy business model, the business model that is going to make them the most amount of money, right? And every single entrepreneur goes through this cycle. I saw Alex Hormozy make a video on this. I can't remember the specific terminology, but you start as a very optimistic and motivated person when you start your journey, right? You start, I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna be rich one day. I am so motivated. I'm ready to work, right? But then you realize how high the mountain actually is, how far you have to climb in order to get to those goals, right? And that's where the decline happens. That's where it begins, because you become a pessimist and you're realizing that you're gonna have to put in all this work and you feel like you're not even gonna be able to do it. And at that point, you have one of two options, right? You can either continue, you can grow, you can fail over and over and over again. You can fail forward till you get to where you want to be, or you can quit. Or you can say, it wasn't on me. You blame it on some existential circumstance. You never take the blame. You always put some accountability, you always put the accountability on someone else, every time. And it's never your fault. But the reality is, and the biggest lesson that you have to learn in this game is that everything is your fault. Everything. You can't sit here and blame it on luck. You can't sit here and blame it on, the market conditions suck, or this model is saturated. Everything is saturated. I'm so sick and tired of people saying that, right? It's all dependent on you every single time, because you're the one who's slacking. You're the one who's lazy. You're the one who's not putting in the work to actually get there, right? And you are so in denial that you put the blame on something else, right? And that is what is keeping you from success, genuinely. You need to realize that everything is your fault at the end of the day. You are in control of everything, including your thoughts, including your actions. Anything that isn't in your control, I don't want you to worry about that, because that's not going to get you to where you want to be. Your actions and your mindset are going to carry you and dictate where you end up, right? So always keep that in mind. That was another big lesson I had to learn, right? And with these YouTube videos, I just like to go on rants, honestly. I don't really have a sense of direction with them. I'm just trying to give you guys, as much advice as I can, because that's what I'm here for at the end of the day, is just to provide value, right? And, help you learn from my mistakes and actually get you to start something. Because a lot of people want to start, but they never do. They're like, how do I start? They never actually take that big first step. And that's what held me stuck for 2 years. That's why I was stuck in the loop for 2 years, is because I didn't know how to start. I never took that first step, right? And you have all this stuff in front of your face. You have so many different business models. You have so many different avenues you could choose from. And it's very overwhelming. You don't know what direction to go. And that's what prevents a lot of people from starting, along with the hesitation that comes with that, right? Because you're stepping into a whole different reality. You're stepping into a whole different life, a different mindset, different identity when you choose this path. Because it's not for everyone. I promise you, it's not. And you need to find out what specifically it is that you are going to do or chase, your purpose. What is your purpose? You need to ask yourself that question. What is your purpose? What is something you're good at? What is something you enjoy doing? And what is something you can do that you're good at and enjoy, and that is your purpose that you can get paid for? That is how you're going to figure out what you are going to do in this online space. And that's exactly how I got started after not starting for 2 years. Is because I realized what my purpose was. My purpose was to help other people succeed, to help other people grow, to help make them make a change, because it's so hard to do it alone. And I combined that with something that I loved doing, which was sales. I loved sales. I loved talking to people. I loved helping people make a decision for the better. And the psychology that goes into it, everything. It was so fascinating to me that I was obsessed with it. I did it every single day. Researched, tried and failed, got better, put the reps in, because I was obsessed. You have to be obsessed, right? You could have all the talent in the world. You could be the best person at this field or whatever you're doing, but are you obsessed? Are you? Because if you're not obsessed, you're not going to really get anywhere. You're just going to overthink. You're going to doubt yourself. You're not going to have the drive to put in the work every single day, regardless of how talented you are. Because talent will take you far, but only if you are obsessed. You have to be obsessed. You have to live and breathe it. You have to think about it every single day, because that just shows you how bad you want it. How badly you want that success. How badly you want to, be financially free one day. Because you're tired of living in this trap. You're tired of, living in this world where you have to work every single day for years, decades, until the day you die, right? And why would you want to live life like that? Why would you want to spend decades of your life working for somebody else's dream when in reality you only have one life, you only have a certain amount of time, and you're giving it all away to somebody else's dream? It should make you feel like shit, genuinely, it should. Now, on the contrary, a 9-to-5 isn't bad, right? It's the backbone of our society. It's what keeps the country running, the world running, keeps the world spinning. But for you watching this video, that is not meant for you. It's not. That's why you have this mindset of you want to get rich. You want to do all these things. Is because you know that you are meant for more. You know that you're meant for more than a paycheck every single month. Because that's not how you're going to live your life at all. You would rather do anything than that. You would rather die, genuinely. You rather would die than do that, than work a 9-to-5. Because you know how valuable your time is. You know the places you want to go, the lifestyle you want to live, the bucket list that you have, all these things you want to go and do before you die. And you're not going to get there by working a 9-to-5. You're not going to get there by being comfortable. You're not going to get there by being complacent, ever. Never. So you got to choose your path, man. Are you going to take the easy way out? Are you going to take the comfortable way out and coast through life, never achieve your goals, and regret when you're older? Or are you going to take the hard path, the one that is meant for 1% of people, the one that requires everything? You have to put everything on the line. You have to sacrifice and put in the work every day to get everything you've ever wanted. Which one are you going to choose? I mean, to me, it's a very simple decision, but to you, that's a different question. And you have yet to answer that question because you haven't started, So you need to make that decision now rather than later, because if you procrastinate, you're never going to get to where you want to be. And this is another thing I had to learn, was procrastination is going to kill everything. It's going to kill, your grades. It's going to kill your relationships. It's going to kill, your drive, discipline, and work ethic. Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll put it off for later. Later comes and you don't do it, Later comes and, you don't put in the work. And you just keep putting it off. You keep putting it off. You keep putting it off. Where is that going to get you? It has to be done either way. So why don't you just do it, Like, why not just do it because it's going to have to be done either way, It's like brushing your teeth at night. Oh, I'll brush my teeth in 30 minutes after I watch this last video. After I scroll on my phone for 30 more minutes, I'll go brush my teeth, Why not just do it now and get it out of the way, right? Because if you do it now, you won't have the stress, you won't have the anxiety, you won't have all these negative thoughts about doing it because you've already done it. You just got it out the way. So why not just do it now? Why not start now? Right? Because you may not have time later. And this is just generally speaking. This isn't about brushing your teeth, This is about life. This is about your life and where you want it to go, because it's very, very serious. This decision that you need to make is going to dictate the rest of your life. So you can either live comfortably and regret, or you can work your ass off and be proud and enjoy the fruits of your labor after all of the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into that. Pick. I want you to pick. After you watch this video, I want you to pick. If you haven't picked already, you need to pick and you need to go. Time does not wait for anyone. It won't wait for you. It's not waiting for me. It's not waiting for your parents who are getting older every single day. You want to retire them so badly, why haven't you started? They're not going to be any younger. They're only going to get older. Their life is only going to get harder. Because they're not as young as they used to be, bro. And how are you going to help them if you aren't doing anything to chase your goals, to actually go and retire them? You're just staying comfortable and scrolling on your phone. That's crazy. Like, you care so much for your parents, but at the same time you don't, because you sit on your ass and scroll. You don't do anything. And I don't mean to be a dick. I'm just telling you the truth that you need to hear, right? Because if I wasn't telling you this, there wouldn't be, a push to action. There wouldn't be anything that would get you to take action, So if you have all these goals, you have these aspirations, you have all these things that you want to do, you need to go. Have to. It's live or die, bro. Sink or swim. And in this world, nobody is coming to save you. Time is not waiting for you. You need to take action now. You need to do it now, because your future self will thank you. But yeah, that's that's pretty much it for this one, boys. I really just wanted to speak my mind on this matter. I get pretty emotional about it sometimes, but I feel like that's necessary sometimes to get my point across, so that way you guys would actually listen. I'm gonna continue to post videos like these as much as I can, but in the meantime, what I want you to do, if you're still watching, props to you. Give yourself a pat on the back if you're still watching. A lot of people wouldn't even make it this far, but if you are, just know that you're on the right track. You're going to make it one day. You're going to be successful. But if you guys want to know more about me, you want to learn more about what I do and how I've achieved some sort of success at 21, just shoot me a message on Instagram, or click on some of the links down below. I'm going to list my Discord on there if you guys want my community, or my Instagram if you want to go DM me, anything like that. But yeah, like I said, that's it for this one, boys. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.